Hello and welcome to the channel. Tinubu recently said he has forgiven Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. How true that is, only both men can say. How did the once cordial relationship turn sour in the first place? Let's run through that on today's read. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Let's go. 2023. It's my turn. How Osinbajo Almeshi became Tinubu's foes. With the presidential campaign kicked off for the 2023 general election, the All Progressives Congress APC will no doubt miss the dexterity of former Minister Chibuike Amechi. Things have not remained the same between the presidential candidate of the party, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and some top shots of the party since after the presidential primary election. Party leaders such as the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and the former governor of Rivers State, Amechi, have gone hibernating from party activities since the primary election. Amechi was the Director General of President Muhammadu Buhari's campaign organization both in 2015 and 2019 elections. He delivered in the two successive elections. However, that is not the case as the party prepares for the 2023 polls. While Osinbajo was conspicuously missing from the Tinubu-Shettima Presidential Campaign Council, Amechi has neither accepted nor rejected his appointment into the campaign movement. Daily Post recalls that after weeks of intrigues and uncertainty, Tinubu polled 1,271 votes to beat his closest contenders, Amechi, who polled 316 votes, and Osinbajo, 235 votes. Tinubu was able to get northern governors behind himself after the likes of Simon Lalong of Plateau State, Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State, and Abubakar Badaru of Jigawa State had earlier publicly backed Amechi. Following the emergence of Atiku Abubakar as the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, the northern APC governors closed ranks and aligned with Tinubu. They believed that Amechi had a very little chance of defeating Atiku. Badaru, who had openly pledged support for Amechi, subsequently led the contingent of presidential aspirants who stepped down and asked his supporters to support Tinubu. And after the presidential primaries, Tinubu claimed he fought to win the ticket, insisting there was a gang-up against his person. An insider in Tinubu Presidential Campaign Council said the former Lagos helmsman has not yet forgiven all those who contested with him during the presidential primary, especially Amechi and Osinbajo. According to him, Tinubu had made it very clear that it was his turn to become president after Buhari. He did everything to ensure that the APC came to power, but he was disappointed to see the likes of Osinbajo challenge him to the end. The APC national leader was said to be highly disappointed that Osinbajo did not step down alongside about 8 other aspirants that stepped down for him on that night. The insider added that Osinbajo sees Tinubu's emergence as backwardness. He said although the VP knows that his former boss has ideas that could better the country, his age and frail health would be a major drag back for Nigeria and thus would never pretend to be supporting him. According to our source, most people take it as a mere joke when Tinubu says becoming Nigerian president is a childhood dream. This is something he had dreamt and worked for all his life. He should have been vice president in 2015 if not this Muslim ticket, and it would have been easier for him now, but he gave that up and nominated one of his boys, Osinbajo, for that position. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. When the northern governors agreed that it was Tinubu's turn after weeks of intense politicking, he didn't expect any of the aspirants to contest with him in the primary. That's the truth. But Osinbajo and Amechi dragged on, and since then, the relationship has not been the same. He is not the one who included Amechi in his campaign team. Tinubu was more interested in bringing Governor Nyesom Wike to his side than Amechi. Amechi is one person who does not believe in Tinubu and feels betrayed by the outcome of the primary. Amechi said something a few weeks after the primary, and what he said didn't sync well with Tinubu's camp. Anybody expecting the former minister to work for Tinubu's victory is wasting their time. It is almost like Wike and Atiku, only that Amechi does not talk or behave like the governor. Also, note that it is not a coincidence that Osinbajo is not named in the Presidential Campaign Council. In fact, he should be one of the persons spearheading the campaign. Before I end this, let me say this. When someone says he's fine, can't Nigerians just respect that? It's his health for Christ's sake, and no one knows better about your health than you. No doubt in my heart that our presidential candidate will win the 2023 presidential election for our great party, with or without the support of these people. He has the structures on ground, but the truth is, it will be easier for us with their support. However, while addressing a group in Kano that worked for Osinbajo's presidential bid, Tinubu insisted he does not have anything against Osinbajo, saying, I have nothing against him. I have been to his house after the primaries. I saw him on the day of the goodwill message at the retreat organized by the president. If you cannot give forgiveness, how are you asking from Allah? To me, it is over. During a meeting, coordinator of the Drone Marshal Support Group, Alwan Hassan, had urged Tinubu to work with Osinbajo and other presidential aspirants who ran against him at the primary election on 8 June. He said, we made consultations with your friends and even your enemies. Sometimes all of them speak of one good quality about you. Most of them have agreed that you stood out as being patient and forgiving whosoever offends you in politics. We want to see more of public participation between you and the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and all other aspirants that contested against you. You are the candidates, you have won, he said. Hassan assured that all the group will work for the APC candidates. Recall that Osinbajo was one of the presidential aspirants who ran against Tinubu in the APC presidential primary election held in June. Aside from Osinbajo, other 13 presidential aspirants included the Senate President Ahmad Lawan, former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi, Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State, and his Kogi State counterpart Yahaya Bello. Osinbajo, a political ally of Tinubu, served as Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice when Tinubu was Governor of Lagos State between 1999 and 2007. That's the news, guys. Bye.